Good morning, everybody. Will the clerk please call the roll for today's meeting?
Calling the roll for the Monday, March 20th, 2023 Board of Control meeting. It is 11:03 a.m. We have Meredith Turner, council member.
Here.
Councilmember Dale Miller.
Here.
Trevor Meckler serving as an alternate for Purnell Jones Jr.
Here.
Melanie Say serving as an alternate for Mike Dever.
Here.
Catherine Gallagher serving as an alternate for Chris Renee, County Executive.
Here.
Michael Chambers, Fiscal Officer, serving as Chairman.
Here.
Paul Porter.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Next on our agenda is the review of the minutes. Are there any corrections to be made?
Yes, the following was omitted from the minutes. The meeting was called to order at 11:04 a.m.
Okay, thank you. I will make a motion to approve the minutes as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Meckler. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved as amended. Is there any public comment?
No public comment.
Let's move on to our first item.
First item, new items for review, BC 2023-168, Department of Information Technology submitting an RFP exemption which will result in an award recommendation to SHI International Corporation in the amount not to exceed $42,777.87 for a joint cooperative purchase of 20 BitSite software licenses and various BitSite cybersecurity risk management platform subscriptions for a period of 12 months, effective Board of Control approval, and submitting a purchase order with said RFP exemption.
Good morning, Board. Dennis Sullivan, Department of IT. As was just read to you, this purchase order is a joint co-op. SHI is exclusively mentioned in the award. This is for 12-month subscription licensing usage for the for the BitSite software.
Thank you, Dennis. Are there questions from the board? Seeing no questions, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item?
Next item, BC 2023-169, Office of Innovation and Performance submitting an RFP exemption which will result in a grant award recommendation to Northeast Ohio Coalition for the Homeless in the amount not to exceed $150,000 for street outreach services for individuals experiencing unsheltered homelessness throughout Cuyahoga County, effective upon signature of all parties for a period of 1 year, and submitting a grant agreement with said RFP exemption.
Catherine Tkachuk, Office of Innovation and Performance. So this is a grant agreement out of the ARPA executive dollars for a street outreach team for NEOC. This contract was coordinated with the Office of Homeless Services so that it wasn't a duplicate of any of the services that they're already doing, but will help for NEOC to fund their street outreach team, which will provide humanitarian aid, crisis intervention services, housing case management services, and also link people to other services in Cuyahoga County.
Thank you, Catherine. Are there questions from the board?
Yes. Is this a new contract?
It is, yes.
And am I correct that this is being funded from ARPA money?
Yes.
And I'm sure there's a continuing need for these services. How do we plan to sustain this when the ARPA money's done?
Yeah, so that's a discussion we had with NEOC, as we've had with other partners where we're funding programmatic services. Again, I think it's something where they're going to have to look for other funding sources, or as part of the, reply to the RFPs for the Office of Homeless Services as what they provide. But they're aware that this is a one-time funding for their services.
And how long will this be? How long will this funding enable them to provide these services?
It's for 1 year.
Okay. Okay, well, it's very much needed, and I don't know who you could choose that would be better qualified to provide this service.
Okay, thank you. Additional questions? Seeing none, I will make a motion to approve the item. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next item?
Next item, BC 2023-170, Clerk of Courts recommending an award and enter into a contract with Midwest Direct Pre-Sort Mailing Services Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $450,000 for a sole source purchase of electronic certified mail services for the period January 1st, 2023 through December 31st, 2024.
Hello, my name is Crystal Lawyer. I'm from the clerk's office. This is a renewal of our contract with Midwest Preserved Mailing Services. This has been in place since 2015. This is a 2-year contract for $450,000, beginning on January 1st of 2023 and ending of December 31st of 2024, not to exceed $225,000 per year. Midwest provides completed mail housing service that allows the clerk of courts to perform all statutory requirements, duties related to the service of summons, and all other documents mailing requirements.
Thank you, Crystal. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing none, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Next
Thank you.
item.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Next item, BC 2023-171, Sheriff's Department recommending an award on RQ 11701 and enter into contract with Friends Service Company Incorporated, DBA Friends Office, in the amount not to exceed $64,296 for the purchase and delivery of toilet paper to the county jail, effective upon signatures of all parties for a period of 12 months.
Good morning, Tanisha Gates with the Sheriff's Department. I'm here to request approval for this agreement with Friends Office to purchase a 12-month supply of toilet paper for the Corrections Department with delivery of 70 cases twice a month for the term of 12 months based upon approval.
Okay, Tanisha, thank you. Is there questions from the board?
Yes. Could you tell me a little bit about what the Friends Service Company is? I haven't heard of this company before.
They've been able to supply us with a couple of different goods for the Corrections Department. I don't have a lot of knowledge with them, but I know we have been able to complete smaller purchase orders with them.
Okay.
Are there additional questions? Seeing none, I will make a motion to approve the item. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Next item.
Next item, BC 2023-172, Department of Public Safety and Justice Services submitting a subgrant award agreement from the Ohio Department of Public Safety, Office of Criminal Justice Services, in the amount of $20,595.25 for management of the fiscal year 2022 Stop Violence Against Women Act Administrative Grant Program for the period January 1st, 2023 through March 31st, 2024.
Good morning, Mary Beth Vaughn from Public Safety, and this administrative grant actually reimburses public safety for time spent by one programmatic person and one fiscal person administering the VAWA block grant. And the local match that is in here is a regular part of our ongoing operational budget.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Are there questions from the board on this item? Seeing none, I will make a motion to approve. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Melly Say. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved.
Thank you.
Moving on to exemptions.
First item for exemptions, correcting to read BC 2023-173, Department of Health and Human Services, Cuyahoga Job and Family Services, requesting approval of an exemption from aggregation of contract amendments on RQ 4542 with various providers for various programs in connection with the Cuyahoga County Fatherhood Initiative for the period April 1st, 2021 through March 31st, 2023, to extend the time period to March 31st, 2024, and for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $825,500. Exemption from aggregation of contracts, County Code 501.05C, Cuyahoga County Board of Control Contracting and Purchasing Ordinance Number O-2012-0015, Section 3.5B. A contract with Cuyahoga County District Board of Health for the Prevent Premature Fatherhood Program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $70,000. A contract with Career Development and Placement Strategies Incorporated for the Rising Above Program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $100,000. A contract with the Children's Museum of Cleveland for Dad's Court Program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $32,000. A contract with JDC Advertising for a public awareness campaign for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $70,000. A contract with Domestic Violence and Advocacy Center, DBA Journey Center for Safety and Healing for a supervised visitation program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $117,000. A contract with the Metro Health System for the Boot Camp for New Dads Program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $44,000. $50,000. A contract with Murtis Taylor Human Services System for the Strong Fathers Program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $60,000. A contract with Passengers Connecting Fathers and Sons Incorporated for the Job for Dads Program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $100,000. A contract with the Centers for Families and Children for the Families and Fathers Together Program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $83,000. A contract with Towards Employment Incorporated for Fatherhood Career Pathway Program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $97,500. A contract with University Settlement Incorporated for the Healthy Fathering Program for additional funds in the amount not to exceed $52,000.
Good morning, Marcos Cortez with Health and Human Services on behalf of the Fatherhood Initiative. Again, this is an exemption from aggregation for these contracts. These contracts was originally procured off an RFP. Even though this isn't a master contract, they need to be processed all together as one item. This exemption from aggregation will allow us to process them individually. We have 10 of the 11 vendors completed and in the system. The 11th is Metro Health, and Metro Health is notorious with their contract negotiations related around language and insurance. We actually just received their signed contract on Friday. We're going through to make sure it's ready to go, but even if we submitted it today, it would still need to go through the process, and it would be late. The contracts as they are now, these 10 are still not late. The contract doesn't end until the end of this month. So we wanted to get them in place so there isn't any holdup with payments going forward.
Thank you, Marcos. And just to clarify, we're amending the dollar amount from 800 to 825.
It was 825,000, we're changing to 825,500.
500.
Yes.
Okay, great. Just want to clarify that. Thank you. Are there questions from the board? Mr. Mackler.
Marcos, do you know, is the intention that all A through K will still come to council for approval, or will you be bringing these individually to the Board of Control?
So these would still come, these would not go to council. They wouldn't need to go to council approval if we approve the exemption. The 10 should be on the agenda for next Monday because they have been in the system for quite a while and ready to go. So they would be on the Board of Control agenda next week. I did offer a compromise that we could do a presentation to council committee if this was approved.
Okay, let's talk, because I think the chairwoman would like these items to come, but I'll confirm with her, then talk to the council president, and then let chair and you know what she would like to do.
Okay. Are there additional questions? So we're going to continue with the approval then, and you're going to let us know, or you want to?
Yeah, I think we're just approving the
exemption.
exemption from aggregation.
Right.
We're not approving the agreements. I talked to her briefly this morning.
Okay.
I think her preference would be that they be discussed in committee, but
Gotcha.
I will follow up
All right.
with you guys. Thank you.
Great. Seeing no further questions, I will make a motion to approve the item as amended for the 825,500. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman Turner. All in favor to approve as amended, say aye. Aye. Opposed? The item is approved. Moving on to consent agenda.
Consent agenda items are BC 2023-174 through BC 2023-177.
Okay, board members, there's only a couple items here. Let me know if there's any questions on them. I see we have Mr. Foley here, if anyone. Okay. Do we need more time? Are we good? Okay, I will make a motion then to approve today's consent agenda items as listed. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Paul Porter. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The item is approved. Moving on to other business.
No other business?
No other business. Any public comment?
No public comment?
I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Miller. All in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.